The overall market, the S&P 500 has been selling off, but mainly because the Magnificent Seven, which has been propping it up, is currently in a correction. Nvidia dropping, Microsoft dropping from 555 all the way down to 500, Apple dropping, but most importantly, Palantir falling off a cliff from 190 all the way down to 142. Now, speaking of Palantir, Citron Research had said they are doubling their short position in Palantir. These are the same scumbags who got burnt shorting GameStop, and is this round two? Is Palantir going to make a comeback and burn these short sellers out of their positions? We got a lot of stuff to talk about. Watch until the end of the video. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn post notifications on. Without further ado, guys, let's get into the video. First things first, SPY 4-hour time frame. We talked about two different levels in the past, one being 625, one being 646. Anything under 625, algorithms are going to push heavy buy pressure. We are not too close to that level just yet. Anything above 646, there will be heavy selling, which we are seeing right now. We broke all the way up to 646.25 and we got smacked back down. Now we got this retracement yesterday. The candle did hold 638.80, which is a level we wanted to watch. Now we did break all the way down, wick into this wedge here, but ultimately we held and we came back up so far on the SPY. I'm going to tell you right now, as long as SPY closes above 635, this is sort of a wedge or a dampening on the downward pressure, but the pressure is not over. You want to watch volume follow through. Yesterday, we had a big volume candle for a red day, so we want to see how much this is going to slow down. Now, the VIX also got a pop, up 5%, was up about 8-9% today, I believe, trading at $17, now down to $16.28. Of course, when the SPY sells off, the VIX pops and the fear and greed index drops back towards fear, sitting almost at an exact neutral right now at a 55 out of 100. Basically, what this means is that investors are saying, I don't really know what's happening. So on any blip higher, there might be some profit taking. Now, Bitcoin is also selling off, trading at 113, basically 114,000. Anything under this fib zone at 111,900 would have been very bearish for Bitcoin to break below. We didn't break below that just yet. Now, Ethereum is doing the opposite. It's up 6%, and we've talked about this in the past couple weeks. Bitcoin dominance is slipping. Finally, the price is slipping, even though the price was rising alongside Bitcoin dominance rising. Now this capital is going to rotate. It's rotating into Ethereum right now. Large cap alts are finally getting a breather after this short correction, and it's also going to follow leading into memes, in my personal opinion. So we want to see this hold. We don't want to see a red day tomorrow. We want to see this move continue to climb higher. Keep in mind, Powell is going to speak this Friday, which is going to spark some movement on the SPY. And seeing that we have already been selling off, I expect that move to be up. But if it is down, I would watch for 625 to hold on the market. If we get under 625, things can be a very fast bloodbath. I want to talk about AMC. AMC has a couple of scenarios that it's trading in right now. I want to give you bull bear case scenario. First of all, bull case scenario is that AMC trades on this white line, and I'll expand it for you a little bit. Right, trades on this white line. Coming into the first week of September, we get this first initial pop to about 350 before climbing higher. Now, bearish case scenario, I want to bring this up because this is important. AMC has to hold very specific levels. I'll tell you what levels it has to break above and what levels it has to break below to play out which one of these scenarios. This is the bear case scenario, coming down and making an all-time low around $1.98. So just wicking below $2. Now, what happens here is at any point AMC breaks under 250. If we can't hold these buy blocks or the all-time lows, which are at 240, then AMC is going to make a new low, obviously, but ultimately watch $2.50. If we get under 250, then this falling wedge pattern right here, what this shows is that every time we wicked higher, bears really began to sell. Okay, began to sell. And if they begin to sell again on another move, this floor that it's been making is going to crack, and you're going to test 250. Now, if you break 250, you get into that very bearish momentum territory, and that is what we don't want. Now, what we do need to see is a little bit of a blip off of this floor that you have, a little bit of a blip instead of a breakdown to 250. Where does that blip have to take us? Well, it has to take us to $3.10. That's it. We're trading at 284. And if we open above $3.10, that is confirmation that you're likely going to see bullish moves into beginning to mid-September. And I believe that that is more so the likely scenario, especially with what's happening with GameStop. First of all, just from a technical perspective, GameStop, we're on the daily, but the 4-hour looks a little bit better. It formed this little W pattern right here. This W pattern gives you a target of $23.42, which I believe that it is going to hit probably Thursday or Friday this week. And if it doesn't, we might blow by it coming into the last week of August. Now, I did want to state as well, where is it? Let me see right here. GameStop earnings. Okay, I've been saying earnings were September 3rd. GameStop released a press release saying that it's Tuesday, September 10th. So people were saying lottery sucks, it's the 9th. Well, I realized that the other day that I was saying it wrong based on TradingView getting it wrong. That is my apologies. I should have fact checked that, but it is on the 10th. So September 10th. This changes things a little bit, but actually gives shorts or market makers more time to position to the upside before a positive catalyst, which I do believe we will build up into on GameStop. Also, daily time frame Bollinger Bands, very, very contracted right here. Every time they contract this tight, we get an expansion move one way or the other. And when it's to the upside, it is very, very explosive. We saw that back here. And I can go take you back to the January 2021 squeeze. We were very, very tightly expanded back here as well. Also wanted to note, the RSI is still trading below the 40. This is the midline, or the 50. This is the midline. The trend is currently weak, but once we get over that, over the 50, and we build momentum to the upside, we have a lot of room to run. Okay, so that's very important. When we were under this back here, we were at $23, and before it got overbought, we got up to about $38. Okay, it looks better on the 4-hour. We don't see those wicks up here. So we have a lot of room to run when we begin the uptrend. Now, speaking of uptrend, $25 calls for October 17th were loaded on GameStop this week. On top of that, this is the second day in a row with large CHX Chicago exchange volume on GameStop for 112,500 shares worth about $2.5 million. Now, this trade can be attributed for a monster cross trade of GameStop $45 calls. But what's so interesting about these call options and the Chicago exchange volume is that the last time Chicago exchange printed this much volume, or this much volume in a single day, was back January 2025 or January 25th, and then December 24th, May 24th, right? These times that GameStop had the short squeezes to the upside was the same time. Is it going to happen again? Well, maybe, maybe not, but it's just another signal, another confirmation that we are right on the edge of a random gap up or a potential gap up. I wouldn't say random, likely very positive catalyst coming in. The stock is very, very undervalued. I believe, based on their Bitcoin holdings, that right now where it's trading at, they could basically buy back the entire float. And once that is realized, possibly during the earnings, if they can buy back the entire float at this price, they're not going to do that. They're not going to take it private, in my opinion. I've talked about that before. Talked about some of the legality things behind that. But what we do see is that we could get a possible buyback during earnings, which would skyrocket the share price. Moving on, Japanese 10-year, still max pressure, beautiful. Globant joins forces with Unity to accelerate real-time 3D innovation in enterprise sectors. I believe Insider has had this insider information, and that's why Unity has been rallying higher, and it finally gets released to us. I think we are close to a sell the news event. Even though this is very good for Unity, they gain access to enterprise markets and verticals where real-time 3D innovation is growing fast, and they benefit from a trusted integration and delivery partner to scale their reach. So they do have a partnership, but again, I believe it was front ran. I'm going to give you one more stock to end the video like I usually do. But before I do that, guys, I want to ask you, if you come watch the videos, make sure to please subscribe and hit the like button. That is all I ask. It's free. And the Discord is the top link in the description of the video. Tesla. Tesla is testing this descending, what was once a descending resistance, now becoming a descending support off of this flag. And I believe Tesla is actually looking pretty good. On top of that, so does some whale out there, buying $1.3 million worth of Tesla $360 calls expiring in 2 weeks. I believe Tesla is going to get a pop off of this and break past these highs at 350, possibly 360, possibly make its way up to 400 in a very, very bullish market mid-September. And I think Tesla's actually a stock that looks pretty good. But again, this could fail some levels. This could invalidate things. I would get a little bit skeptical if we break under 313, which you can see we wicked to and held. This was probably the bottom buying opportunity, and this was also that support that it tested. Overall, guys, that is what I got for you for today's video. Don't forget to press the top link in the description to come join my Discord server where we talk stocks and crypto in there all day long, guys. I want to talk to you. I want to connect with you, and we have the best family in there. There are no bad questions. Feel free to tag me in there. I'll pop in and respond. Feel free to request videos, all that other good stuff. That is it, guys. We have tons of alerts in there as well. Love you all. God bless. Lottery Stocks out.